And we are live. Hello everyone, this is the Web Executive and welcome to the stream. How is everyone doing? Hope everyone is doing okay. Hello. Hello guys. Today we start a little experiment, so because I have many things in mind that I want to draw during these weekly streams in which we do some minor drawings. Since there is so many different themes, I thought about this idea to add this little game in which before we start anything new, we spin the wheel which will determine the theme of what we are going to do. So I think that would be pretty interesting to see the result. I made quite a few suggestions, but I don't have to do it alone. If you guys have any suggestions that I can add to this wheel, they are more than welcome. Ideally, the wheel should be always full of different inspirations and different ideas, so whenever we select a new thing to do, we remove it and potentially we'll add new ones along the way. Compared to the main project that we did, this one it will be entirely from scratch. So we'll start by searching the references for whatever we need to draw, and then create a new Photoshop file, decide the format, decide the composition, the ratio of the document, anything like that. We decide whether it would be a single drawing or multiple drawings, because there are a couple of entries in the wheel which I made them smaller than the others because well, I think I can just show you later, but ideally I want to make it so the importance of the wheel, of the choice, so how much it occupies the wheel, it will be dependent on how big the project is. So the bigger the project, the smaller the chances of being picked up. So we give a bigger priority to those who are a bit faster to do, especially now that we are still having the bigger project ongoing. So in order to avoid having two big projects going on, the other big projects are not as big as the one we are currently doing with the game, but they can take multiple streams nonetheless. So the importance of each decision will be a bit different. So let me simply show you directly to our Wheel of Fortune. So right, let me check first if everything is working as intended in the live stream, but it should. Okay, so let me list you all of the different choices, which are as follows. I'll only list them this once, then later if we'll add new entries, we'll simply know as we go. So the first one, this is not any particular order. Kaleido is a character, it's an OC I had in mind. It will be quite an interesting process to make it. If it happens, you'll know why. Desert Monument is simply environment, maybe the first environment I will stream if it happens, which it's something that I got inspired after seeing one YouTube thumbnail about those dark ambient music I tend to listen to, and that I also put as background music in the main project. Cruel Sisters is one of the smaller choices because it will involve the making of multiple characters. This is inspired by a specific artist, which I will show you in case it gets chosen. Punk Girl, it will be a simple exploration of the punk genre, especially for the design. Battle Portrait, it will be something similar. It's in both Punk Girl and Battle Portrait are some OCs that I already established, but I want to refine. Death Project is another smaller project that involves multiple characters. Afro/black characters, so I will be focusing on making a character with those type of facial features and skin tones. Will be a good exercise for doing something a bit different than what I usually draw. Abstract Person will be a character using many geometrical shapes, some sort of eldritch being purely based on symmetrical and geometric shapes. Big Jaws will be a study about making a character with an animal-like mouth, big open with big teeth, so it will be an interesting study for that. Classic Statue Study will simply try to draw and replicate one of those classical Greek marble statues, and maybe then we'll decide what to represent and try to give that classical look. Anatomy Pose will be a study. We'll try to create a character that's centered around either a dynamic pose and also with muscles very visible, so it would be a good opportunity for me to improve the anatomy and learn the different positions of the muscles. Mirror, it's an idea I had to make like a version of the classic mirror on the wall from the Snow White story. Robot Centipede will be concept art about an hypothetical robot that's inspired from a game called The Forever Winter. If this one will be picked, I will give more context. Creepy painting is basically trying to make a creepy character, but giving the look and feel of a painting done on canvas. And then White and Red is to try and make a drawing or a character which composition and color strictly uses those two colors. If you guys have any suggestions, you can say it right now, because I can add them and do the wheel, and then we'll see what can come up. I'm really excited to see what result will happen, and we'll let fate decide our next little project. So then after this one is chosen, we'll simply remove it from the rest of the wheel, and then as people, if you have any topics or as I get more inspiration or new ideas, I will add them onto the wheel, and this will be the main method to determine what we'll be drawing next whenever we finish something. So if no one has something to suggest yet, we can always add it later. It's time to spin the wheel. Everyone ready? Let's see what happens. In 3, 2, 1, and go. And the winner is white and red. Okay. Okay. So now we remove this, and this is our winner. Now let me simply remove this this one here. Let me just save it real quick, and then we switched over to Pinterest. Oh, by the way, I made the option to remove the AI stuff. I still see some of it, but I think it's something that would be applied over time. So as we will explore Pinterest in the coming days, we should see lesser and lesser images made with the AI. So for this wait, let me switch to a more chill background. There we go. So red and white. I already have a few saved pictures that were the ones that got me inspired to make this entry in the first place. So what we're going to do is look up some references, place them in our program which organizes the references, and then we'll use them to start our drawing. So if I'm not mistaken, one was over here, I think. So I was thinking, yeah, something of this nature. I'll open the different images to the side. So it will be primarily a white, very bright composition with the red that creates those sort of geometric shapes, something as if it's made with a design in mind. And I think I found some examples over here. Maybe they are in another. Yeah, I think they are in another. Maybe here. Let me see. There are a lot of images, so it may take a while, because once we find the image I have in mind, there will be a series of similar images that will be very useful for whatever we need to do. This one can be useful. I am opening different tabs whenever we find an image that might be useful to our piece. Not this one. I just realized your Pinterest is in Italian. Yeah, because I am Italian. I can't be bothered to change the language, at least for Pinterest. Let's see. There was this one very specific, it's a bit towards, yeah, maybe something like this, but inverted. Maybe something like this. So very, very simple composition. Since the difference in colors will be the main focus of the piece. Yeah, maybe something along these lines. Now let's see from some of the images that we found, something like here. Yeah, something of this nature. I really like this difference. Maybe even something like this. I wanted to make it, like, yeah, something like this. So like a white wall with some creature or some character or decorations that have this difference. I think we have found enough references already. So something maybe here as well. And then I think I found there was one in Art Station. Pinterest artists are another whole breed. Have you seen what those 13-year-olds do with their damn fingers? I don't think so. I don't think I've seen them, but there is basically every possible thing you can imagine in Pinterest. Okay, so now that we have all of these images, we'll switch to our references program. And I'll start dropping them. Then we'll order them, no problem. For now we'll just drop all of the different images. Okay. This. Let's try this one, because now I'm grabbing references for the overall theme, but then we should grab references for the type of subject itself. Okay. Still a few more. Images. Now I think I will grab a couple of images from Art Station, which is another really good website. Let me just first sign out. Let me see. Won't show it necessarily because there are some images that may be TOS. Simply for that reason. But I will be quick. I think there was one in particular that was particularly nice. Still following this type, yeah. Something like something very geometric. You know, I'm curious, how do you come up with the whole Void company and stuff? It's an inspiration from different things. One of the main inspirations is from a game called Critters for Sale, which It's a very unknown and pretty unique game. It's a point-and-click adventure which covers 5 different stories that are somewhat connected with each other. And one of the characters is kind of similar to the design of mine, but not too much. And then another reason I decided to make this whole theme and stuff is because since I didn't want to use my real face for the channel, I wanted to do something more similar to a VTuber, right? And the problem is that if you look at VTubers now, they have essentially more or less the same style. So I wanted to find something that would be different and more recognizable from all the rest. And that's how I came up with both the design and the color palette for the whole channel. As for the theme itself, it's just a quick something funny I wanted to do, like add this type of humor in a corporate setting, the same type of humor that you may find in things like Portal and Portal 2, or yeah, that kind of humor. Okay, I haven't found an extra image, but I think we can already start to arrange these ones. I saw the gameplay of the game, don't remember half of it because I fell asleep. Good to know where you come from. Thank you. Okay, so this is the overall look, how the final piece will look. Now we'll go back to the to Pinterest. To check, oh wait, I forgot something. Now we need to decide what to actually draw. And I think I have found one reference that's kinda similar to what I want to do, if I manage to find it. I think it's on ArtStation. Just a moment. Because it's something very how can I say it? It has that monumental look. That I really like. Maybe I can find it in the yeah, it's over here, I think. So there is this particular artist which makes some really cool stuff. Let me show you. And I wanted to do something like if I manage to find it. It was like some sort of wall decoration. Maybe here. Yeah, like add something over here, like it's almost, it's similar to the classical statue theme, but it will be in junction with the other references. No, maybe this one is too much. Okay, let's grab this one. Let's go back to here. Now we'll try to decide what to actually show. So, for our subject, I think we'll try to do something either completely white with some blood or red paint, or maybe make it a part of the some parts completely red, like in some subjects over here. Let's go back to Pinterest and see if we can find some subjects that can catch our eye, so to speak. There we go. Now I may have some already saved images, maybe here. Yeah, here there's a lot of geometrical shapes, something that can be very minimal. I like doing very big monumental things. Maybe something like here, but not with that much detail. Maybe something like this. Okay, let me save it in a new tabs so that we do the same that we did before, and essentially add them to our mood board. You seem to have no notifications on pin at all. Let's see what else we can find. Maybe something more abstract. I think this one can be good inspiration. Let's see what other versions we can show. No, now we are veering a bit too far. Not here, okay. I really like the way this one is made, especially this whiter part, or also this one. I hope this one is not made for AI. Doesn't say so. Maybe something like here. Hello, welcome to the stream and welcome to the company. We rolled the wheel and the wheel decided the theme white and red. So we are going to, let me show you the reference board that we are making. So now we are grabbing references for the piece that we are making. This is how the drawing will overall look, and now we are grabbing the references for the subject, or what we'll try to showcase essentially. Thank you, I'm glad you like it. It won't take too long. Maybe something very weird and abstract. Or maybe... yeah, I think for this one we'll do more sketches, like smaller sketches. This one is also very nice. We'll do smaller sketches to determine the subject and the camera angle. Okay, let's try and implement what we have found so far. Now I'll start dropping some images into the reference board. This one is also very nice. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. Wait, did I add this one? Yes. Let's remove it. Did I add this one? Yes. Okay. This one is made by AI, so I won't add it. That's unfortunate. And then this one here. Now let's make them all equally high, and then okay, so we have how the colors and composition will look like, and then here some ideas on what we can represent. Your universe seems really cool, by the way. Thank you. If you want to know a bit more, there's the channel trailer, which is also kind of a pilot episode for a series, a small animated series that I want to make that will further expand the lore of my character and the channel. Okay, so to summarize, this is how it will look like in terms of colors and composition, and this is more or less the general imagery when we'll do the main focus. I think that the format we'll be using for this drawing will be vertical. We'll do a vertical layout. So I think we can switch to Photoshop. And make it vertical. You know, it's been a while since I've been excited for original lore OC. I already want to see how it ends. I know we only had a pilot. Yeah. I mean, it really warms my heart to know that you guys are excited for the content I've made. and for the lore, how it will be expanded and what will happen to our protagonist ultimately. Okay, now maybe let's make it slightly, maybe not as vertical, but we can always change that. Oops. Okay, maybe we're back just literally 2 seconds. Okay, sorry about that. I had to quickly close a couple of windows because it started raining like crazy over here. I hope the weather to you guys is a bit better, but at least here it's complete shit. It's been raining for like a week or so. Okay, now we have the blank canvas. Although I don't think the original piece will be pure white in terms of background. It's never a good idea to make it pure white because it can really it can be really too much. Same with pure black, by the way. Weather is as bipolar as a Mexican mom. In the morning there was hell heat, and right now near the dusk it's raining. Yeah. So let's try and make just a little less bright. My weather is cold, it's snowing right now. I wish it was snowing to me, but last time it snowed in my city, I was doing like I was in 2nd grade or something. I was in elementary school. Since then it never, like if it snows, it's something really stupid, like a couple of snowflakes in the span of one evening, and then it's raining right after, so it basically cancels all of the snow it fell earlier. So okay, so sad. Yeah, for the overall composition and camera angle, I was thinking of something like so. Have some sort of something like this, and then have a very, now let me do it in a very quick and stupid way. So this will be where our place would be, but maybe something like oops, let me first select it. No streets or anything, nothing like, I mean, close to where I live there are mountains, so of course there it snows, Sometimes it snows even if in the south where they are supposed to not have any snow, but in my city I think it's also because of the pollution. Maybe it makes it too warm for actual snow to happen, but I don't know. Maybe here. Okay, so basically our subject would be something like here, with some sort of I don't know how to call it, but yeah, very similar to the classical statue, but we'll do something more symmetrical and more by design, let's say. As for the subject itself, I think that first I'll do a sketch of the background, and then maybe we'll do the character later. For the background, I was thinking of something like something maybe like this. And then there will be some sort of decorations and things. Question real quick, what do I do if my nail polish just stained a full-on piece of my sketchbook? Okay. Had to go now, see you guys in the next company meeting. See you, thank you for coming. I don't know what happens if, what you should do, because I've never used nail polish, so apologies in advance. Actually, you know what, instead of doing everything like this, let me first make a symmetrical version, and then I will scale it properly in the perspective. I guess I pretend it's blood or something, blue blood, but whatever it is for the drawing to look cool. Yeah, you can try and make an interesting exercise and try to build a drawing around the stain. That can be a fun thing to do. Okay, now what I'm making is the decoration that's on the background, but I'm making it perfectly symmetrical because once it's done, we'll then warp it to match the perspective. No nail polish on the sketchbook, that's horrible when it happens. Yeah, I can imagine. maybe something like this. Now I have my references on another window ready to check whatever element that I can add to make things interesting. Okay, let's try over here. I need to think about the different shapes to give. It needs to be something... Okay, let me try. I'm just doing some experimentation now. Let me grab a big bright red and then... just now experimenting with things. Let's say that in these type of streams there will be a lot of experimentation, especially for something that I've never tried before. Something as simple as this, just to limit ourselves with only 2 colors. Do you love it? Glad to hear it. I'm trying to replicate the type of background you can find in these old churches and stuff like that, although trying to add some geometrical twist to it. Maybe instead of having this one, let me see if I can find something, if I can find a better alternative. So maybe this one can be simply maybe add. Okay. Maybe instead down here we can make this area just a bit smaller. Here there would be the ground, here maybe some inscription. And then there will be this main subject over here. Okay, let's see how this one looks like when placed in our symmetry. Let's make this one a smart object just in case. And then there we go. Oh, you have to go. That's okay. I'll see you in the next stream. Stay safe. Okay, it looks slightly better. Maybe we can improve upon it. Make this one slightly smaller. Maybe we could make it slightly as if it's caved in. Lower this one even more. Yeah, something along those lines. And then here there will be simply this one. Now let me quickly save the project just in case. White and red. Okay, I think this one looks good, but I think there is too much clutter over here, so let me maybe make this area bigger. Or maybe I can simply empty these ones. We also need to think about our main protagonist. I think we'll do it in a moment. So for the main attraction, let's see what we can create. Yeah, this one is the main sketch. And here maybe something like, now I'll do a very rough version just to establish the volumes and shapes. Let's bring this one even lower. Okay, let's try and be more geometric. Okay, this is the head. Now let's see how we can make the rest of the body. Let's say that there is a lot of exploring over here, so we may come up with a design that will change a lot over time, because this is really new territory, and sometimes we may come up with some results that we might not like later, and we may also change. The artistic process is always a matter of trying new things out, and if necessary, remove and scrap those things that are no longer necessary or useful. Never be afraid to start things over. Yeah, let's try and make it the body first, because I want to do something like something like this. And then, oops. I want to make it like it's a statue that has a very, very long neck. Just need to reflect on how to make it work properly. Like imagine what kind of anatomy it would have for having this long neck. Let me see if I can find maybe a reference that can help me out. I think I have some images. Let me find one real quick. Over here, maybe. Yes. Okay, I found the one reference that can be very useful. So okay, let's leave this to the side and make it okay. Then I think it's best if everything works like so. Because then I think we can have one little guy over here. And here. Okay, let me make a better version of this sketch. Okay. This one is still a very early sketch, but it is simply to determine a more accurate way of shaping up the main subject. Okay.
You would not believe what has happened to me. You would not believe.
And now for the body underneath.
What my eyes have seen. You would not believe what has happened to me. No, you wouldn't, baby.
For this one, I want to make it a bit slender for okay.
You would not believe what has happened to me. No, you wouldn't, baby. When you're gone so far
Yeah, maybe something like that, I think can work pretty nicely.
You would not believe what happened to me. You would not believe what my eyes have seen. You would not believe what has happened to me. No, you wouldn't, baby.
Then underneath,
No, you wouldn't, baby. No, you wouldn't, baby. No, you wouldn't, baby.
yeah, something very surreal. Maybe I can make this one even taller. Let me try and do this sleeve again, and maybe have this area. Very good. Yeah, something like a very ethereal figure. Although we may need to do another sketch to well establish the anatomy and design. Here we'll have just a random guy, and here behind all of the different decorations. Now let me flip the image real quick. Okay. Maybe here in the background we'll need to add some more stuff over here. So let's try and do just that. Hmm. And then random decorations over here that will flesh out later. Yeah, I think I really like the composition. I just need to reflect later on how I'm going to implement the red factor, because now it's all white and we'll need to think about the red as well. Maybe wait. Okay. Maybe down here add some sort of altar or something. Something that goes over here, and then there will be some altar type thing. Let's say that here it's both character design and environmental design. Can be really good exercise. Maybe here we can add like a column or something. I'm not sure. Like something. This nature, maybe? Not sure. I mean, I think it can, because it encloses the scene. Okay, now that we have good sketch overall, I mean, for the composition. Let me see, by implementing the red, where we can put it. So maybe, let's see. Is something along, maybe something here. Make it this part mostly all red. And maybe something along those lines. I'll try some rudimentary shading already, but without going too crazy. And then maybe make some elements of the main subject like completely red. Let's see how it may look like. Let's see what happens if I try to make it No, it doesn't really work. Let's make this one made of different streaks as well. Not sure, especially about this part over here. Let's see if I make only the head completely red and not this top over here. No, let's make it inverse. What about something halfway through? Yeah, I think something like this can work. Although, I think we can still improve it. What if I do something like... Nope, let's try everything completely red. And then no. The idea is to make it so that this altar is very dirty, but not sure if I want it completely covered. Maybe the top should be less dirty. Let's see how it will look like. Yeah, maybe something like this, which you see. Yeah, because maybe this way it follows a more natural flow. Still this top part, which I am unsure about. Let me see if I can find maybe already a good brush. For now, I think I'll just use this soft square brush. Okay, not like this. Let's see if we make some parts. then maybe let's see how it goes before and after. Thing is, I need to establish a source of where all of this comes from. Let me try and remove it like this. So from here it will be stained regardless because it's chlorine. So here it will be stained for sure. I think that this top here will be stained as well. Maybe up here, just a bit less. No, yeah, I think this version works best. Because then it highlights the white face over here. So maybe it's just a matter of lessening the load over here. And then try to apply the effects over here. Actually, this could be something way more thick since it's fabric we are talking about. So from nothing to something like this. I think this can work. Although I think we need more red on the bottom here. So maybe then add some red, maybe over here to sort of guide the eye in this direction. Okay, so more or less we have the composition, although I think, let's see if we can maybe add some more red here to the sides. So maybe something like then here. Yeah, let me bring them to a separate layer so we can verify how good it looks with and without. So without and with. I think this one works a bit better. Although I wonder, what if I make everything here red? Let's see how it would look like. Kinda makes it less important. Well, we can think about the blood over here later, because now what we need to do is do the much more detailed sketch. So this one is the background and this one is the creature. Let me duplicate this one for the hero character. Now let's bring this one very low opacity, same for this one here, and now we go for the much more detailed version. Okay. Let's remove this part.
Sense in following others' roads to destinations where nobody knows if it is right, but you life and roll. Cause when you go out, people feel empty. If you go bold, God, it's all about the journey. So loosen you must sit, trust when you wait. You struggle when
Maybe this one can be brought a little lower.
So take a breath at the moment when you wait. Stop and realize and forever remain. Lose see it in your waking day. No one can take your dreams away. You see it in your waking day. No one can take your dreams away.
Not sure if I like this shape over here. Let me see if I do it flat, how it may look.
So now lose yourself, your image lies within your own mind and the control. So now see yourself as one with all and always be it what you know. So take time to arrange the possibilities and obey. Where one door closes, another one opens. So there ain't no shame in knowing how to play
There
your
we go.
game. Where one door closes, another one opens.
Now we are talking.
So now take a breath, realize it's all a
Maybe we can work on this shape on the top as well.
Remain, remain, remain. Lucid in your waking day. No one can take your dreams away. Lucid in your waking day. No one can take your dreams away.
Okay, and now this one, let's make it, let's shape it in an interesting way. Although these ones, I think they can be a bit more pointed. Okay. Now we need to do the neck, which I think we need to put some extra care into it.
On your knees and you still blame me. Did you think I'd stay just to let you leave? How could you be so careless? I'll make you plead to notice. Run, 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 I'm a sucker with a gun, and I'll make you pay for
Now,
the things you've
I want
done
this to be made of stone, so we need to
to me.
kinda give it away. So I'll start with this simple shape, then we'll do all of the different fabric
Was it just for
folds
fun?
later.
Your eyes met mine.
And underneath I'll do
How could
as if it was an X-ray of the of the shoulders.
I'll make you bleed to notice. You spend my love so reckless. I'm cashing in on fairness. Why do you lie when you cross your heart and you hope to die? Why do you lie all the goddamn time till you're 6 feet blind? How could you be so
There we go.
careless?
This would be
I'll make you bleed
the sleeve.
to notice. Run, I'm a sucker with a gun and I'll make you
Although,
pay for the things you've
let's
done to me.
warp it just a little bit to follow the
Ooh, to me.
flow of the rest of the clothing. One second. There we go. Okay, this is the first part. Now we do the second for what's underneath. I think for this part I need to dissect it into simpler shapes. Let me see. We need to change this one. think we are almost done with the character. Just a few more elements to be mindful about. Maybe I need to think and grab some more references. Let me see if I can find one image that will help me. Wait, I think I found some images. Let me see. Yeah, I think I need to give this one a much better shape. Which is something. Like this, and then here. Let's remove this one. Hello, welcome to the stream and welcome to the company. We spin the wheel and the theme that came out is red and white. Now I'm making the sketch of the overall composition, as you can see. Trying to make the character work with the pose. Especially trying to fit the pose with the neck position. How has your day been? For me, it's mostly just rain upon rain upon rain. Can get quite tiring over time. Terrible? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. For me, it's been pretty good. Excited for what's about to become for this piece. Well, I hope your situation will get better, whatever it is. I hope this stream will give you enough chill vibes and maybe learn something along the way. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. You're an artist too, nice. traditional or digital? Either way, I'm excited for your projects and stuff. Both are nice. There are some really good artists that have this process of they do the sketch on paper and then they scan it and continue digitally. That can be a perfectly viable way, solution. I started with the traditional, but I personally much prefer the digital. Let's try this part over here. The drawing reminds me that I forgot his name, but it was in Halo 2. Oh, I apologize, but I don't think I can help you because I've never played the Halo series. It's one of those franchises that I missed when growing up. I mostly grew up playing Nintendo games. You know, the classics. And I'm not sure if I should start playing the Halo games. I think it's one of those franchises. I know that the last games weren't as good as the previous ones. I think it's one of those franchises whether you either grow up in it or you don't consider it at all. Okay, kinda like this result. Let me flip the canvas just in case. Okay. Sketch for this creature thingy is basically complete. Now we need to do the sketch of the background, which is this one here. But I think for this one we can simply already paint over it. Yeah, fuck it. So yeah, Halo has always been like, I don't know, everyone has one of those, like those franchises everyone talks about that you are never either interested or never been a part of. For me it was something like Halo or even Dragon Ball. Like everyone I knew when I was little, everyone knew about Dragon Ball and I didn't know jack shit. Like okay. I think we can already try to establish some sort of colors, at least to separate the main subject with the rest of the drawing. Let's say, if there is a franchise I would like to try it out for the first time, there are a few, but for example, the Fallout series, it's something that I kinda want to try, but the more I think about how Bethesda makes the games, the less I am inclined to play it. Especially since it's another one of those gaming companies which latest games haven't been the greatest so far. At least I can go rest easy in terms of games made from Valve. I think maybe they should announce early this year the next Half-Life game, finally. If everything goes well. I think in theory it was supposed to be announced last year, alongside the pricing of and the release date of the Steam machine, or the GameCube as some people call it. But it got postponed because the RAM prices right now are basically have skyrocketed. Like RAM sticks now may cost as much as a graphics card. That's because there is a shortage caused by companies, especially AI companies, buying RAM in bulk, so there isn't enough for everyone and the prices have increased dramatically. Which is a bit of a shame. But at least for that upcoming game, it's 99% confirmed that it's done and it's going to be released, announced and released. I think it will be one of those few games that I would gladly buy it on day one. Okay, so here we have this sketch of the background. Maybe I can already use it because the sketch is quite clean already. Then the details we can add them as we do the shading. So yeah, since the theme is white and red, we want to try and obtain this sort of composition centered around those two colors. But first, let me do something real quick. I think this one can be removed. Let's see how it looks like already when placed on top of it. Okay, so what I think I will do is we'll add the red later. First I will do the shading in black and white, at least for the main character, quote unquote. So let's do just that. And it doesn't have to be something too dark. Now, before I made the base color not pure white, because now we'll keep it for the most important areas. And I think we'll do the same for the background. We are just going in a very approximate way just to see. Now let me grab the polygonal lasso tool, very useful. To delineate certain elements. Okay, maybe something like something like this. We'll need to adjust this sketch, I think, or maybe not. Let me try and see. No, okay. There we go. This area just a little bit darker. I want to avoid using grays that are way too dark, maybe only where absolutely necessary, like only in specific areas. For instance, maybe something like here or down here, not sure. This area needs to be darker, here a bit lighter. Here will be one of the darkest. Yeah, no, I think we still need to improve a lot more over here. Because then we need to keep in mind this part over here. Okay, maybe if I make it mostly white, it may work. Okay, maybe. Maybe something like this. Not sure. Then of course we lighten this up to color this area. Let's see. How well this looks when placed behind. Then of course we'll do the more detailed versions later. Right now I'm just trying to establish the core values of the picture. And then maybe behind here make it slightly darker. Maybe if I do there we go. I made this one a separate layer. Now just another very light gradient. And already try to establish some volumes. Same over here. Okay. Then over here let's see. We go very bright white in this area. And maybe a bit darker here on the foreground, but not too much. Let's flip the image, just in case. It's always a good idea to flip the image from time to time. Yeah, I think we are slowly getting there. this one will be the blood on this side. Because now let me add the black and white filter. I know the picture is already almost black and white, but when we add the blood, we need to take into consideration the values of here, which I think can be a good opportunity to work on this side as well and make sure it works well with the overall composition. So if we do something like maybe something like this. No. Or maybe something like this, maybe? And then with some not enough nuclear bombs. What do you mean? Not enough nuclear bombs. Hello, by the way. Welcome to the street. Speaking of nuclear bombs, recently I've been trying this new game called Nuclear Option. It's basically a flight simulator in which you do battles with planes, including nukes, but it's a pretty interesting game, although the controls are a bit tricky. No nuclear bomb in image, Nuclear Option is nice. Yeah, there will be other opportunities to add nuclear bombs in an image. Yeah, the game is fine. It's just since I am using mouse and keyboard, it can be a bit tricky to learn the controls, and I still very much suck at the game. But I think that over time there will always be, like, the more I play, the more I'll get good at it. It's not something I am afraid of. I've played many games that are very, very hard. Fight scenes are better with proper equipment, but it costs a lot. DCS, not sure which one is it, but I've never been I've never played a proper flight simulator. For example, usually those people who are very passionate about military sims and flight simulators in particular, they know all of the different rocket terminology, right? They have all of those letters, those numbers, and they can tell right away which rocket is the best one for this type of situation or for this other type of situation. And then there is me, who, when I just open the game and I have to choose the loadout of the different aircrafts, and I'm like, what do I choose? They all look the same. They are just rockets with different shapes. Some are thin, some are big, but other than that I have no clue or little clue on their usefulness. Plus, some of them behave very similarly, and I really cannot tell the difference most of the time. And I am a person that's also shit at remembering names, so you can imagine how it sucks to try and remember the name of the exact rocket that does this exact thing, and I'm like, ah. Delta wings would work better as an arrowhead than on delta wing. Yeah, I have no clue. For me, you just spoke gibberish. The hell is a delta wings? I have literally no clue. I am kinda the same with the cars. Like, the car enthusiast can tell you, this type of this model of engine has X, Y, and Z, and I'm like, okay, I see something. If it has 4 wheels, it's a car. That's all I need to know. Delta wing is literally the planes that look like big triangle. Yeah, no, but I mean the more technical terminology for the different types of rockets. Because there's anti-air, then there is heat. Some rockets are like heat guided, the others are infrared or like radar guided or something like that. I have no idea. And depending on which type, you need to use them in a specific way, and I'm like, ugh. So it's something that I need to be more in the know, let's say. It just seeks out heat. Some are radar guided, which use the radar signature of the enemy plane, and the other is less normal. Yeah, but there is another type which, like, I know that the hit ones you can avoid them using flares, and then there is another one in which you need to like place the plane perpendicular and use a radar jammer instead of just using flares. That's something that's quite confusing for me. I don't know. Radar guided missile, yeah, I guess it's that one. I don't know. But like, I don't know, for example, why would you choose one over the other, for example? Like, what's the big difference? Like, it would be good if in those types of military simulators, if the names, like, first give the description of what they do and then maybe give the name. Like, I don't care if an assault rifle is called the AKPR-75-2GYK. Like, what am I going to do with that kind of name? And at least for those who are a bit more casual, or at least not as knowledgeable in military terminology. The only military thing I know to read well is military hour. So instead of saying 11 p.m. you say 23, stuff like that. Depends on the strength of your radar and your enemy. Say if your enemy has a very small radar profile and you have a bad radar, you will probably want to use a heat missile. Yeah, the problem is that none of those things is explained in any of those military simulators. Like, what I noticed in those type of games is that they already expect you to know all of this. And usually the tutorials are pretty bare bones. Like, they teach you the basics, but then they throw you into the menus with all of those different terminologies, and you have to either look at the wiki of the game itself or just Google stuff. It's a game for enthusiasts for the trade. The tutorial is simply to acquaint you with the controls, as you are expected to know specifications. Yeah, I mean, overall I still like the game. Make no mistake. It's just those little things that I think need to be more explained for those who are new to the genre. Another thing that's a bit of a bummer is the performance. Like, it's really annoying when you look at the specifications on the Steam page of a game, and the specifications that are listed are like well below what you currently have, so you technically could run it very well. But then when you play it on certain occasions, it's just laggy, even when you technically should be able to run it very well. Like for nuclear option in particular, for example, there are some times where I can run the game at 144 FPS, which is the maximum refresh rate of my monitor. But then you just add a few more AI enemy planes, and then FPS drops to 40. And you're like, what? Why? Like, what's the point of putting those specifications if at the end, as soon as you have a bit more enemy count than usual, then the frame rate drops this sharply. Which is a bit of a shame. But that's not unique to that game. There are plenty of games that are like that. One of which is Helldivers 2. So I love the game Helldivers 2. But the problem it has is that if you play on higher difficulties, which has lots of enemies, the game just kills itself frames wise, unless you have a computer from NASA, which is not what I have, unfortunately. My computer is almost 6 years old by now. I got it, I remember I assembled this computer with the help of a friend right before all of the COVID lockdowns started. So I was really lucky because I managed to buy all of the components before the prices skyrocketed because of the pandemic. And unfortunately, it was also the year that they later announced the NVIDIA graphics, the 3000 series. I have a 2070 Super for a GPU, which I realized that for some games, especially the more modern ones with all of those cool graphics, it's starting to be a bit obsolete. Which is why I think that any money that I obtain through this channel, first thing I'm going to do is save up for a new computer. One that can last for much longer, hopefully. me see if I can already try to sketch some shading over here, although it may be a bit redundant. Okay. It looks nice, but I think we need to balance it a bit more. Okay, let's check the values real quick. Yeah, this area is a bit it's a bit weird. Let me fix that right away. Let's see right now. Slightly better. And then maybe do something like this. I think this area needs to be improved a little bit. Maybe with something like let me just remove this part of the sketch so it's not going through the column. There we go. And then here, I think we need to make the edges darker. Although, let me limit the workspace. We are still in a very sketchy phase. But we will have all the time in the world in these coming streams to bring One Piece to life. And then for this part over here, yeah, I think slowly but surely we are reaching to a desired outcome. Still very sketchy phase, but this stream has been more about starting this little challenge of letting the wheel decide what we draw. We'll continue this one in the next stream. Yeah. Okay, let me just check something real quick. For some reason I always see that something changes. I need to double check every once in a while that the recording is going as expected. Because of the way, wait, let me try something that may be foolproof. Let me see if I can fix it. Nope. Nope. It's okay. I'll fix it later. Yeah, you see how whenever I do one change to the image, it basically just gets stuff in a corner. I think I will try to fix that, or better yet, place it in a separate window where I can check if it's working or not. Regardless, that's something that I will try to fix next stream, which is on Friday. Well, I said this has been a very chill, very quiet stream. I like this challenge that we have decided. So it's not exactly a challenge, but rather a method to decide what we are going to do next for the theme. Whenever we finish a drawing, in order to decide what we'll be doing next, we'll let the wheel decide. As I've said before at the start of the stream, if you guys have any suggestions to add to the wheel, which for those who weren't present before is, let me pull it up real quick. Let me see. Okay, no, never mind. Not this one. This one. There we go. So, for those who are new to the channel or just came recently to the stream, so this is the wheel that we'll be using whenever we want to start something new in terms of drawings. And of course, as a category gets picked up, it will be removed. So if you guys have any suggestions if you want something in particular to be drawn, specific theme or a specific topic, specific character, just feel free to let me know and it may be added to the wheel over here. But that will be useful only, we'll use it tomorrow for the project that we continue. Not this one. This one will continue on Saturday, because Friday it will be the stream dedicated to the main project that we have been working on in these past couple of months. But I'm really excited to see how this piece will turn out to be in the end. It's still in a rough spot at the moment, but there's plenty of time to do all of the necessary changes and bring this drawing to life. So yeah, I think I will see you guys in the next stream, which is Friday at the same hour. It will be as chill as this one, hopefully. I hope you guys have enjoyed this stream as well, and hopefully you like all of the other ones that are coming. I'm not planning on stopping anytime soon. That being said, this has been the Void Executive, and we'll see you guys on Friday. Good night, everyone. Stay safe.